Paddy the Baddy Pimblett is back in action. That is correct. You've probably seen the news by now. Paddy Pimblett going up against the one and only Tony Ferguson, El Kukui, in the same place where Paddy was this time last year. T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, more importantly, on pay-per-view. And this is a fantastic fight on a ridiculous fight card from top to bottom. Now, last time we saw Paddy Pimblett, as we know, very close fight against Jared Gordon.
No, it wasn't. That wasn't close.
I thought he lost, and so that was the general consensus. But you can't hold that against Paddy, okay? Maybe afterwards he could have handled it a little bit different, but so what? So what? There's adrenaline running through you. He's took a year off. He had ankle surgery. He doesn't look too fat either. You know, he was very kind of proud in some ways that he would put on so much weight in between fights. Paddy the Fatty, as he used to call himself, having a laugh. But from what I've seen on social media, he doesn't look too fat lately. The man looks ripped. It looks like he's disciplined. Looks like he's taking this seriously because he needs to go out there and get a big win. The problem is for Paddy, listen, he's a fantastic fighter, but he's in the lightweight division of the UFC. That is the toughest division in the entirety of the UFC. Simple as that. He's 4-0 so far in the UFC, and because of his fame, because of his popularity, and because of his mouth and his fighting style, it's about time that he stepped up. He beat Jared Gordon, so next it would have to be a ranked guy or somebody with real name value. And that is what Tony Ferguson offers, right? We all know the name Tony Ferguson. There's one time he was one of the biggest names, the hottest prospects in the lightweight division, went on a 12-fight win streak, 9 or 10 stoppages against some of the very, very best people. The man was booked up against the GOAT, Khabib Nurmagomedov, for crying out loud, 5 times. Which is ridiculous. But as we know, Tony Ferguson, no disrespect to him, he's struggled lately, and that's what happens. Listen, this sport is an unforgiving son of a bitch, and you stick around long enough, you fight at the highest levels, the toughest fights, eventually you're going to get beat, and then those losses continue to come. And it's just, that is the sad reality of this sport. And then you combine it with the fact that Tony Ferguson is 39 years old. Listen, heavyweights can go into the mid-40s, but 39 as a lightweight, it's time to start thinking about retirement. Now, if you look at the last 6 fights of Tony Ferguson, as we know, as you know, as we all know, they haven't gone his way. Lost them all. Bobby Green, choked out. Nate Diaz, choked out. Michael Chandler, knocked out. Beneil Dariush, decision. Charles Oliveira, decision. Justin Gaethje, knocked out. And that's when he fought for the interim title as well, God bless him. He had the chance of becoming a 2-time interim champion. Now, it's easy to look at that. 6 losses in a row. That's bad. It's really bad. It is. Listen, and Tony will admit that. But look at the names. Look at who Tony Ferguson is losing to. Justin Gaethje, Charles Oliveira, Beneil Dariush, Michael Chandler, Nate Diaz, Bobby Green. All right, granted, I was going to say they're all the best names in the lightweight division. Maybe Bobby Green, right? Maybe that's a little bit of a step down. Still a tremendous fighter, still a tough guy for anyone in the division. Right, so no disrespect to Bobby, love that guy. But other than that, they're all massive, massive names. So this is the real one here. This is the real question, right? Because a lot of people on social media are talking shit about this fight, and I don't understand that, right? Paddy the Baddy's got to come back. You got to give him a credible opponent. Tony Ferguson's a wild motherfucker. It's as simple as that. He's a fighter, man. He will fight tooth and nail. You literally have to finish Tony Ferguson to get him to stop coming forward. There is no quit in that man at 39 years old. Yeah, of course, he's taken a lot of damage, right? But also a lot of experience. And against Bobby Green, he was doing okay. Nate Diaz, he was doing all right. Michael Chandler, he dropped him in the very first round. Beneil Dariush went the distance, same with Charles, and Justin Gaethje until later in that fight started off doing all right, was stopped. Round 5, 5 minutes 39. Not throwing any shade at Dustin Poirier, but he did better than Dustin Poirier did just recently, right? Not knocking anyone. You see the point I'm trying to make. Tony Ferguson is still a dangerous man. Make no mistake about that. And it's a really, really tough spot for Paddy Pimblett because it's a lose-lose. Right, already there's people out there talking shit, right, saying, nah, they've just given Paddy somebody easy. Tony Ferguson's not easy. He's not an easy fight for anyone. But also, because he's lost 6 fights in a row, if he goes out there and wins, well, then guess what? Everyone's going to say, well, of course, you just beat Tony Ferguson. He's lost his last 6 in a row. He's been finished the last 3 times in a row. So you understand what I'm saying? It's a lose-lose for him. So it's a tough one, but I respect both men for stepping in there, putting it all on the line. And Tony Ferguson, there's a little part of me even though I'm an Englishman, there's a little part of me that, you know, not against Paddy, but generally, Tony Ferguson, we all love the guy. He's had some incredible wars, you know, so I wish him all the best. Now, how do these guys match up? Well, they both have very, very good jiu-jitsu. That's been a big part of the game. Striking-wise, probably kind of even. Paddy's faster. Paddy's probably a little bit slicker. I think Tony's got more power. I mean, look at, he dropped Michael Chandler with a jab, or it was a straight right, whatever. It was a straight shot. He put him down, he sat him down and almost knocked him out. But it's the miles on the clock that concerns me for Tony. Can he still take a shot? I guess, well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out for sure. If Paddy gets the job done, right, and I'm sure when it goes to the bookies, he will probably be a favourite because, number one, he's way younger. He's done a 4-fight win streak in the UFC, 6-fight win streak overall, okay, before he came over to the UFC from Cage Warriors. So, listen, he's young, he's got momentum on his side, and he's just taken a year off. The question is, what kind of Paddy Pimblett do you think we'll see? Because, listen, Paddy's brash, he's confident, you know, he's full of it. Of course he is. He's young. He's enjoying himself. He's got everyone kissing his ass. He's got legions of fans, right? But there has been a bit of a turn, right? Not knocking the guy. All you got to do is go on social media and look, and like, people like to talk shit. Okay, it's as simple as that. Maybe he didn't help himself last time, but so what? I've made mistakes. Lots of fighters say things that we shouldn't say or whatever, or act certain ways. You know, we take it very personal and passionately when we're fighting somebody, right? And we feel that we win, and the judges say that we've won, and then everyone talks shit. It riles you up. It gets you mad. So you can't really hold it against Paddy. But the problem is, what kind of Paddy are we going to see? Because last time out against Jared Gordon, it was a fight. It really was a fight that people thought he lost. But it wasn't one-way traffic. It wasn't like when he fought Luigi Vendramini, even though he got clipped in that one. And Scouse
Don't get knocked out.
He got the finish in round 1. Then Rodrigo Vargas finished in round 1. Jordan Levitt finished in round 2. But against Jared Gordon, he was pushed to the limit, right? So now, maybe that's given his confidence a little bit of a dip. He's had a year away from the octagon. He's just had surgery on his ankle, so he's had a little bit of downtime. How will that affect him? Well, here's my guess. I don't think it affects him negatively. I think it is the exact opposite. I think we're going to see the best version of Paddy Pimblett. He's been a little bit quiet lately. He's let some of the noise settle down. And what better way than to come back to the T-Mobile Arena on pay-per-view, Las Vegas, Nevada, and going up against a household name in mixed martial arts. And for Tony Ferguson, again, a big opportunity for Tony Ferguson. He's a proud man. He is a proud man, and anyone that wants to say that he's done, he will fucking fight you right then and there in the street. That's what you got to love about Tony Ferguson. The man's out of his mind in the best possible way. But the striking's there. The experiencing's there. He's been wrestling all of his life. He's got high level jiu-jitsu and a tremendous amount of experience. And Tony will look at this fight as if to say, hold on a minute. Here we go. This is my key to the door. This is my way to shut everybody up. This Scouser has a tremendous amount of hype. Everybody loves him. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to slow down the hype train. And you never know. It might just happen because it's a different fight than, say, Charles Oliveira. It's a different fight than, say, Justin Gaethje, Beneil Dariush, any of those guys, Michael Chandler, right? Not saying that Paddy can't get to that, but he's a long way off. This is a very, very different fight, but a guy that has massive popularity. So for Tony Ferguson, expect the best from him as well. Because as I say, this will be his ticket to shutting everyone up, silencing all the doubters. People like me, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Tony, there's a good possibility that he should retire. Okay, 39, great career, glittering career, interim champion, fought for it a second time, put on some incredible performances. He's a candidate for the Hall of Fame. But he's also 39 years old and he's lost 6 in a row. Okay, so when you look at that, you think maybe it's time to retire. Okay, no disrespect, it's just the facts. But that will piss him off because it would piss me off if I was still fighting and pundits and analysts and commentators and podcasters and fucking Brits are saying that. I say, I'm going to show everyone. I'm going to show everyone. But that's the hard part about this sport because the will is still there. The effort is still there. The work ethic, the discipline, the getting out of bed and going for the runs. It's all still there. But the chin just cannot take it anymore. But is Paddy Pimblett a knockout machine? Is he a knockout artist? We don't know. Anyway, what do you think? Who wins this fight? Let me know. Subscribe. Ring the bell. See you soon.